Good evening and welcome to A Melanin Mother's Love. The goal here is to ensure we start to tell their story. And I just want to be clear before we even get started. Every single mother on this planet is important. Every single woman on this planet is important. We are here to support each other, build each other up, and never tear each other down. And I think that the goal of this podcast is to give women and men who have honestly touched my life over the last few years an opportunity to take this platform and tell their story. So if you are willing to take this journey with us, I am so grateful. We are so blessed, and let's tap in and tell their story. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your day, out of your schedule, out of your routine to join us. This episode, you guys, just like every other one, is so special. It is so close to my heart. You guys are about to get a one-on-one introduction to one of my soulmates, okay? Now, I know some people say soulmate to the person you marry, blah, 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 whatever. This man has been in my life a little over 8 years now. And when I tell you the ups and downs have nothing on us, whoo, sweet baby Jesus. Okay. We go back so far. We joined the military together. We were in boot camp together, Marine Corps combat training together, the trenches. Okay. The only thing we didn't get to do was deploy together. But when I tell you the fight of our lives were side by side, that is what this friendship is based on. Survival. Okay. So without further ado, Mr. Idarius, welcome.
Yo, I was like smelling the entire time we were talking.
I just needed the world to know. I needed them to, they had to understand how important you are to me.
They need that energy. They need
it. Oh my gosh. Okay, before we get into it, can you please run them your resume? Where are you from? What are you doing? Where are you going?
So, I am from Evansville, Indiana. Right now, I live in Atlanta. Like she said, we was in the Marine Corps together, so I'm a vet. Honorably discharged, of course. Right now, I'm really into fashion, so I work at Forever 21, but I'm going to school for social working. You know, I really want to make a change in the world, work with children and things like that.
Yes.
And just give back to the world, man.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have to take them back a little bit because before social work, you were going for pediatric nursing. Yes.
Yeah, pediatric nursing. Yeah.
Listen, I was like, look, kudos to you. I cannot remember nothing from biology. I don't know.
It's hard.
It is hard. I commend everyone. I mean, especially even going into social work, that is a big step. So thank you for your service.
Whew.
So, let's get started with these questions because that's just my favorite part, throwing you guys for a loop, right? So, When you got out of the Marine Corps, what was it that told you you needed to go to school and you needed to do this rather than, there's a lot of people who get out and they just don't do anything. Like, what was it that told you this is what I need? This is my next step. What was that?
Just being able. Well, my next step wasn't immediately to go to school. I took time to myself because, you need to take that time to center yourself, ground yourself, just to figure out things that you want to do. Now, what do you want to do with your life?
Right.
Versus what you always wanted to do with your life. And you just have to figure those things out within yourself, honestly.
Right. I think the pressure, there's so much pressure, I think, for us as African Americans, just melanin colored people, period. There's a lot of pressure for us to do better than our parents did, right? And I think I was so grateful when you called me and you're like, you know what? I'm going to school for pediatric nursing. I was like, what? Who got the time for that?
So excited. So excited.
And I told you if you wanted to be an underwater sea diver, I would support you. But when you told me that, I was like, oh, you're really going to give back. So I think the pressure that a lot of people get when they get out of the Marine Corps or the military, what have you, whatever your choice is, it's like, do I have the intestinal fortitude to do this? And I just want to thank you for being that person that my son can look up to, because he doesn't have a chance to have excuses. He can't say like, oh, I don't want to do this. No, everybody in our village is doing this. So this is what you're going to do. So thank you for being another man that my child can look up to. I just want to give that moment to you.
Our rainbow child.
Our rainbow baby. So as a man in America, I know you watch the debates.
Lord.
Give us some strength, Lord. We're going to try to be as respectful as possible to whoever's out there listening, because you're all, what's the word? You're all granted to have your own choice, right? You're all granted to have your own point of view. So we're not going to disrespect anybody here. That's not what this is for. That's not who we are. But
at all.
As a Black man in America, how do you feel about the potential leadership that we're probably about to have?
Honestly, I feel like either way is like teeter-tottering. I mean, we had a conversation where we was like, we agreed with probably like 20% of what, not even 20% of what Trump does.
Right.
But, these resumes and people's backgrounds, and now they're trying to make up for the things that they've done before to fix their history just to be in a position in the world, and the things that's happening in this world right now that they're paying attention to it because it's things that they know people are paying attention to.
Right.
They're just trying to get that attention and that like clout from situations that are like really heartfelt to Black people and Black Americans in this world. And it's crazy. It's just, the leadership is just, we need Obama back.
Shout out to Barack. Shout out to Barack. And I mean, at the end of the day, everyone has to remember that America is founded on quite a few things. And one of those things, George Washington, he said straight up, like, we have to take care of each other. And I think that if there is one person that can get back to that, whether it be Joe Biden, whether it be President Donald Trump, if they can get back to that, just us understanding the epitome of taking care of each other, I think we'll be fine. I'm still active duty, so I don't really have a say so, but I just want to put that out there for all of you listening. You have, Mr. Idarius here, and he's not just choosing sides or anything like that. He's just trying to inform you, just like I want to inform you.
Yeah.
That all we can do is just continue to, there's no taking sides.
Whoever has a better plan for America, who is ever for the people, for human rights, civil rights, things like that, that's who I'm for.
Right.
It's just some actions of the leaders that's running our country and that's running to run our country. A lot of their actions I'm not for, which I don't agree for, but I mean, this is what we have.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that we have to deal with.
Right. And it's just going to go back down to, you just need to take care of the person to the left and your right. If you can't control anything else, take care of the person to the left or your right. So, you know me on a very, very personal level, and you have a understanding of how important mental health is to me. So I think this is where we're going to transition into just mental health awareness. And you actually have a very deep understanding of the trauma that people in the military face while serving, and then the transitions that they have in their lives. And some people are struggling, some people are surviving. So what do you do when you come across a veteran or a Black man or a man period struggling with just, certain mental health conditions, like whether it's depression or anxiety or suicidal ideations? How do you encourage people these days?
Honestly, it's not even that I encourage people. It's just that I'm honest with people. I'm very honest with people. I'm gonna tell you like it is.
Right.
Like, things won't get better in this life unless you make it better.
It's a
honestly,
choice. Yeah.
If you're gonna sit down and be comfortable with you just sitting around depressed all the time, that's how you're going to be. That's how your life is going to be. If you get up and make a change, you're going to get up and make a change. Nothing's going to be better without you putting some type of effort into your life.
Right. Man.
It's on a more deeper level than, because depression and just mental health, period, it goes so deep, so deep to like your childhood and just people suppressing things that they didn't even know that they suppressed.
Right.
And they just have to really just dig deep within yourself. Like, man, you have it. You got it. You just got to dig deep.
Yeah.
And when you dig deep, you got to dig deeper.
It's like I learned so many things. And I know that you were taking was it a psychology class? And you were like, this is everything, right? So
everything.
This is what I need in my life. So I was taking one of my intro classes for counseling, and it was saying that a lot of the suffering that we finally face as adults happened before we were 12 years old. And that blew my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It blew my mind. And
it's just,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's just things that you, like I said, things that you don't even know, like, you're suppressing, that you're going through. And then it's just things that pop up like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's that sense of relief.
It's not even... I don't want to get too personal because this isn't about me. This is about you. I want you to tell your story. But is there a story that you're comfortable sharing that you experienced, whether it was like while you were serving or while you were in high school or recently, like any injustices that you had to literally fight through and pick the better option than the latter option? Is that
the better option than the lighter option?
Latter. So like you took the high road when you knew you could have took the opposite direction. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just taking the high road on a situation in life, period.
Right.
I would say, I mean, I don't know, like, just which to pick.
It doesn't have to be too deep because some people can't handle deep. But even so, for me, I'll just give you like an example, right? So okay. Being in Pennsylvania, some of you know, some of you don't. I am in a there are not that many people of color where I live, and so because that's the case, there was a police officer who was parked outside of our home, and we were in an apartment complex at the time, and he saw my son and I walk out of the apartment complex. We walked into our car, we started driving, and then all of a sudden his car turned on. I'm like, oh, you know, maybe he's done with his shift. This fellow police officer followed my son and I for about 5 miles. And I only say that because at mile about 3, I called my fiance and I was like, I just need you on the phone with me because something awkward is happening. And in that moment, I realized this is what people are talking about. You know, I can either do and respond how I feel, or I can take the higher road, which is going to leave me feeling some type of way. And so with that being said, that he pulled me over. He had no justification as to why he pulled me over other than, do you really live where you just came out of? Mm-hmm. And I was so confused. I'm like, well, my license clearly states that's where I live. And part of me was just so angry. I was like, why in the world would this man ask me this? Like, was I speeding? You know, and part of me was like, I can react just as angry as my fellow soror did when, you know, her life was taken. I can react just like any other American would, but I couldn't. I had to take the higher road, right? And so that is another thing that I'm still suffering from. I don't know how to deal with that to this day, just as a African American woman. I don't know how to deal with that, but I had to take the higher road and just, yes, sir, no, sir, whatever you need, sir. And even when I was being kind, he was still being disrespectful to the point where my son, I had tears in my eyes talking to him about this subject. But have you ever been faced with something just so confusing that you still had to take the higher road and just didn't even understand like why the latter option wasn't possible?
I guess I can give you one example that just being here in Atlanta, a lot of people know that this is like where the gay community is really big.
Right.
Right now in the world, homophobia is really like something that is still going on in the world. Trans women are still getting killed. Gay men are still getting beat.
Right.
Things like that. And just, I remember like just walking here, like with me and my friends here, like when we get together, we're really like, that's when your flamboyant side comes out. You know, that's who you are. That you're comfortable with those people, and that's who you are. So when you're around those people, and then other people see you around those people, and they react to that in a negative way, it's just like, and say things like, oh, you're gay, and oh, look at those faggots, or it's just like, dude, like we live in, this is a new world, this is a new age, this is a new day. It's just like, why do you still, or why do people still react this way? You know, but then you have to like think, because now my mindset is like, you know, people go through a lot of things in life, and the things that we go through in life, those things allow us to react to certain things, and they allow us to look at things a certain way. Oh, I view this a certain way because this is how it's supposed to be. And, you know, some people just haven't come to the light to be okay. Like, people are still, like we say, the Black Lives Matter thing. People are still saying all lives matter. Well, all lives can't matter unless Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter and all lives matter. If you can't say that, then you can't say or be homophobic towards a gay man when all lives matter, you know?
Right.
So it's just things like that when you just have to take the high road, not say anything, and just be like, you know, you have a better day. People just have underlying issues.
Yeah.
And those aren't my issues to deal with.
Right. I always say I don't get paid enough to mind somebody else's business.
Okay.
I just don't. And it's unfortunate that is even the case, but I love the maturity that you and I share as in our friendship. I just really, really appreciate it, because so many people have come into both of our lives and gone because they just can't sit with us. Like, that's just, you can't sit with us. And that's nothing against them. It's just, you have to know what season in life you're in. You have to respect your self-worth. And that's pretty much what I wanted to ask you after. And I know we went on like a little tangent, but it is what it is. Y'all tuned in. You get to have this intimate moment with us. It is what it is. But growing up, you had to develop such a tough shell, right? How did your mother assist you in becoming the man that you are today?
My mom is like my best friend, actually. Right. She's like, it's like our relationship is like the best. So like her shaping me, or like just being there for me, like knowing who I am, accepting me before I can even accept myself, like just her being encouraging, my number one fan, things like that. Like, I'm really open with my mom about everything. Like, she knows like everything about me, and just her being there, her love, her support with anything that I do. Just like you said, I mean, if you're going to be flipping burgers, I'm going to be right there with you. Can I get a double cheeseburger? Like, that is what it's mom, man. I just love it. Like, I believe that love is a big factor of children growing up to be awesome, to be great, to be rainbow babies.
Right. To be the children that they have no idea they're capable of being, but it starts with the love of just their family. And I don't just want to say mother, their village, because that's just how, you know, how we've structured our family dynamic. But I love your mom too. I mean, she is just a vibrant light. I love her energy. I love how she'll reach out to me as if she gave birth to me herself. It is the funniest thing on the planet that she's like, "Hey baby." I'm like, "Hey mom." So it just goes to show that she does have that love within her, that I just pray more children who have been estranged from their parents. I hope they get the opportunity to, you know, and I'm going to get deep here, y'all. I hope you get the opportunity to forgive your family members for the things that they've done to you. And I say that specifically as a victim of something that has happened to me that I had to forgive other people for.
Because it really helps you as a person, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. It gives you a step ahead. It gives you better rest at night. It gives you less nightmares. It gives you just peace of mind.
Peace.
Yeah, peace. So if you can find it in your hearts, and I don't know who I am supposed to be saying this for, but I am following the atmosphere at this very moment. Forgive that person that hurt you. It is not for them. It is for you.
And I will say this. Forgiving someone does take time.
Yes.
So forgive them at your own timing. So when someone, like you said, you were a victim of something that took place within your family. Right. Sometimes people don't have that room to heal. They don't have that room to find peace. So for a long time, that's why they suppress those feelings. So as you're older, it's good for you to find time to heal. It's good for you to find time to find that forgiveness, because for so long you haven't had that. You don't know what it looks like. So when you find it, it's something new, and it may seem strange at first, but finding yourself it really takes time, and it takes courage.
It does take courage. That's the biggest part.
Yes.
That leap is not going to be easy.
It may even be, you may fall a couple times.
Yeah.
But I promise, get up. It's going to be worth it.
So we're going to, man, this is some heavy stuff. We're going to move into our golden nugget. So every episode, Mr. Idarius, we do our golden nugget. And I wrote a word down, and I'm definitely going to change the word. As you know, sometimes I change the word, and it's going to be forgiveness. I think that just, it wraps up everything that we've talked about today, from some of the things that we've experienced in our past, some of the things that America has done to us as a culture, some of the things that we have done to ourselves and our mental health, not giving sometimes you have to forgive yourself, right? And, you know, forgive yourself for the choice you made and the person you fell in love with, or forgive yourself for the person who you've allowed to hurt you. Like, sometimes you have to forgive yourself for that. So the golden nugget, you guys, I want you to take this with you into the weekend, take this with you until the next episode. Forgiveness. And like Mr. Idarius said, and I'm going to give you, you know, your Oscar in a second, let you stand on the stage and, you know, close us out, but it will happen on your own time. So right now, sir, you know, you're walking on the stage, you're speaking out to, you know, 1,000 people, and I just need you to say something to encourage them to push through this week. This is your moment. What do you have to say to the people?
I would say to the people, to push through this week, it's time for you to be selfish. Selfish with your time, selfish with your emotions, selfish with just yourself, to push through, to find something within yourself to light that candle or that fire again, to keep you going. To be forgiving, you have to be selfish within yourself a little bit, because it takes so much to forgive someone for just something so awful that you just can't put yourself back in those predicaments to even seem that vulnerable, or put yourself back in those positions to seem like you're nothing, or just not capable of anything, because that's what you are. You know, people may seem like they're nothing, but I promise, 4 words that I always tell myself: that you are strong, you are worthy, you are capable, and you're enough. And those are the 4 words that keep me going in life today. So peace and hair grease. You know, stay up, love, positive energy, all of that good stuff.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And we just want to thank you all who took out the time to listen. Honestly, this one was heavy, and I wanted to get deeper into it, but I think that we wave top what we needed to. If you all want to reach out to us,
that's about to get deep.
I had to pull back a little bit. If you all want,
draw back.
We had to draw back. If you all want to tap more into this episode, feel free to direct message me. You can find me on Instagram at TheRealIzzoGT. Mr. Holman, what is your Instagram?
My name is going to be at KingXIdarius on all platforms.
And that's just if you guys need to reach out to us. We are both focused in mental health, mental healing, just self-love, and we're here for anyone who even needs it.